going on, everybody? This is Zeno here, and today, well, I'm live on Twitch again, but this time I'm going to be discussing the Saboteur. Saboteur? Saboteur? Sabo? How the hell do you say it, Saboteur? I know someone's going to get out there, put their pinky out with their T and say Saboteur. But I'm going to be using Brutus Lead Sprinkler. If you're unaware, I'm using Brutus Lead Sprinkler in every single Ascendancy this league, and I've said this at the start of almost all of my YouTube videos. So, hello. Brutus Lead Sprinkler is a mace that gives you 4 to 7 fire damage to attacks per 10 strength. So you get strength, you get rewarded. Also, it has up to 1.44 attacks per second. I think it's like 8.25 crit. So you can go crit with it. You can do all sorts of great things with it. You can even go EQ with it if you go a slow roll. So I'm trying to use it on all 19 Ascendancies this league. At first I was going to do 18, but I figured out how to do Saboteur. So generally speaking, he excels in mines and traps. However, the Saboteur also excels in blind. So the way how we're going to use this build is we're going to exploit blind. Born in the Shadows is just crazy now. Before this was like a 4-point wheel and it wasn't even as good as this. So let's discuss what it does. Blind, first and foremost, reduces a monster's chance to hit by 50%. 50% reduced chance to hit. That is so absurd what that does for evasion rating. That makes evasion rating... I can't even describe what that does for evasion rating. And it also works well with dodge and block. So dodge and or block is great for the Sabo, and we were going to try and figure out how we're going to do that. So, cannot be blinded. 10% reduced damage taken from blinded enemies. So I can't be blinded, which means attack-based builds. So if you're doing traps and mines, that's limited to bows, because melee weapons you can't trap and you cannot mine them. So anybody in YouTube comments who suggests me to use a melee ability on a trap or a mine, shh, you're probably going to get called out by the rest of the people on YouTube. You can only use bows or spells. So for cannot be blinded to be effective, we would have to be a bow or wand, a wand skill, excuse me. Wands are also authorized. It's pretty good for like a kinetic blast blinder, but it's still good for me. I'm using a melee weapon and we won't be using any mine other than one. So nearby enemies are blinded, so it's an aura around you that blinds enemies automatically. So if an enemy is blinded, they deal 10% reduced. Excuse me, you take 10% less damage from anything that's blinded. So this includes spells that are dealt by bosses. So 10% reduced damage taken from anything that is blinded is an automatic defense upgrade. Alright, so 30% increased damage with hits and ailments against blinded enemies. So it's pretty much, that's most damage sources in the game, so you get a little bit of damage. And then you can also blind on hit if you have off-screening ability through chain, you know, like lightning trap chain, for example. During this video, I am going to make some trades. I am playing this live on Twitch, and I want to keep discussing this. So I'm going to be using an item called the Effigon. I'll show it. It's in my stash right here. Alright. I'm not in the right hideout. My hideout. Sorry. Yo, dude. I listed it for a fuse. That guy sucks. Anyways. I'm going to use the Effigon, which is the upgraded Ignomen. So the Ignomen is that gold Jabate amulet. When it drops, you're feeling bad about yourself. Well, it got a prophecy update, and it's probably the only way I can use Brutus Lead Sprinkler on the Saboteur. First, it gives 12 to 24 fire damage to attacks, which is like 30 strength. You know, 4 to 7. 4 times 3 is 12, okay. 7 times 3 is 21, so this is 24. It's like having 30 strength. It's okay. And then it's got accuracy, which we don't need at all because it's kind of contradictory. It gives evasion rating, which is fine because that works well with blind. Let's read the last two things that they changed about it, though. Your hits can't be evaded by blinded enemies. So this gives you the exact same function as Lycosidae, the shield that gives you hits can't be evaded. Or it gives you the same thing as Resolute Technique, so long as the monsters are blinded. So as long as the map you're running, monsters can be blinded, you're good to go. That's just crazy. You have perfect accuracy. You are the champion now, but for yourself. Yay. You also still get the 10 fire pen if they're blinded as well. So that's the same as like You know, it's 10 fire pen here, but this is contingent based upon blind. And considering I have an aura of blind, we're pretty good to go. So let's see. Let's make a new build. Oh no, I already have the build planned. Oh, screw you then. Alright, so we're going Born in Shadows. I'll probably pick up Explosive Expert first. It gives me area damage, area of effect, 10 pen, and 10% reduced damage taken from traps and mines. Hey man, that helps with lab. And I guess some exiles and stuff. We'll go Born in Shadows second because Effigon is a level 57, so that's like Act 9. Act 8, Act 9. Pyromaniac is what I'll pick up for... I'll probably pick this up for Merciless, and for Uber I get Bomb Specialist, so I still go out of my way. This is mine laying speed, this isn't mine damage, and Ellie damage still works for Brutus Lead Sprinkler. They all have Ellie damage. This one's res, this one's movement speed, and this one's movement speed. So not one of my minor nodes is bad for me. I don't miss out on anything because I'm going to use Smoke Mine. Smoke Mine with Minefield, and this will give me, what, 5 mines? And 5 mines is 5% regen, and they have reduced mana costs. And I could drop 2 sets, and that's 10% regen, unless I'm misunderstanding how this node works. Can have up to 2 additional remote mines placed at a time. That doesn't give you LMP when you drop mines, right? No, that just means I could have 2 more down at a time. Never mind, you still need mine laying speed. But this does give mine laying speed, so I can have up to 5 at once. Let's see what Minefield does. Let me educate myself here. I've never played a miner before. Minefield. Sported skills place 2 additional mines. So, and what is the Saboteur's wording? Can have up to 2 additional remote mines placed at a time. It doesn't place 2 at a time. I see. So that just has the maximum number you can have down. So Minefield, sported skills have up to 2 additional removal mines placed at a time. That's how this is coded. So I place 3 at a time. This defaults to what? What's the default mine placement? Let me see how mines work. Mechanics, trigger detonation, active mine gems. Let's see. You could set up to 5 by default. So 5 remote mines. Minefield makes it 7. That means I can have 9 remote mines down, 9 mines at a time. So if I get a decent amount of mine laying speed, we could just pop that. So let me educate myself on Smoke Mine now. So the reason I'm going to use Smoke Mine, and I know it seems like it's a meme, but it's really not. If I just drop this during a boss fight and then pop it, mine lasts 16 seconds, increased area of effect, base duration is 5.9 seconds, 30% increased movement speed, places a remote mine which uses the skill when detonated. So I get, for 5.9 seconds, I get 30% increased movement speed, and there's blind in the room, which means that I can put increased duration on this and make this like 10%. I get probably 10 seconds of 30% increased movement speed upon popping this, and the entire room will be covered in freaking blind. Places a mine that will teleport you to it when detonated. It covers both your escape and arrival with a cloud of smoke that blinds enemies and gives you a temporary buff to movement speed. So this surrounds the entirety of the room with Minefield. Just everything's blinded and then I fight. So that's how this character is going to work. This is not Moli. This is Sebi. This is Sebastian. Excuse me? Smoke Mine grants an additional 30% increased movement speed? Like, what is that? What is that? That's 60% increased movement speed. What the what? Why don't I just play Charge Dash? I get an open shield, so we can use that +1 totem shield, and I could go 3 War Chiefs with a Saboteur. Just War Chief, Protector, blind, 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 blind. That's what I could do. It's 60% movement speed, man. It's gonna last like 10, 11 seconds with increased duration. Like, easy 11 seconds. Easily. If I get skill factoration, I can make that shit last like 15 seconds. When bosses are blinded, they take... Let's see. Reduce damage taken from blinded enemies. Okay. Increase damage in hits against blinded enemies. Nearby enemies are blinded. Blind on hit. And then smoke mines. Just give me all that movement speed. Just drop a few, pop it. And then Pyromaniac makes me immune to Ignite and Shock. The Shock is really what's good. Ignite's not bad. And I get regen after popping my smoke mines. And then I get Pen here. And reduce damage taken from mines and traps and area of effect and area damage. So it's pretty damn good. I actually think this is going to be insane. Alright, you got to put your booty down, Sebi. If you don't put your booty down, I can't help you. Sebi, you ready? You chilling now? Alright, booty has been... If you put your booty up, I'm going to launch you. We'll have to take out the cat of Holt. You know, the cat of Holt. Alright, continuing on. So this build is centered around the Effigon. We get 10 pen from it and we get hits can't be evaded. We do sack percent strength from it. Kind of stinks. And we do sack life. However, we could slam this base into oblivion with Val Orbs. So we can get +1 Frenzy, +1 Max Res, or +1 Curse. All of which are really, really good. Like, Sebi, like, what are you trying to even do, dude? I know you want to rub your face all over me and stuff, but... Like, what are you even trying to accomplish right now, Sebi? Okay. I don't understand them, but... It's like first world problems, my cat loves me. This guy's about to turn 16. Old man. Alright, so let's see what uniques we're going to use for this build. Sebi, are we done? Are we done yet? Alright, so unique chest PoE. Is there anything with blind? Let me just see what's blind PoE. Related unique items. Cannot be blinded, cannot be blinded, who cares? Savvy. Trigger level 20 Fog of War when your trap is triggered. I'm not using a trap. That kind of sucks. Oh. Oh. Too bad we're using BLS, but that's a pretty good mechanic. The Ignomen with Eclipse of Solaris is a... And then you go point blank. It's a pretty good combination. Okay, let's see what else there is. Minions can't be blinded. Increase damage with hits and ailments against blinded enemies. It's pretty low. There's the Effigon, Moon, Sour Canware, Condos Canware, Pandemonious. Chance for 1 second when hit to slow them by 30%. Blind chill enemies on hit. So pure cold, but that's not for this build. And bring a rain. So that's it. Nothing that special. Alright, so let's see what we can use for a chest piece on this guy. So what would be something that fits BLS well? I've done Death's Oath. I'm going to be doing this chest piece on the Sequal's Nest. This is going to be on my minion-based builds. Because Avian's Might gives you, what, a 10% chance to deal double damage, and now it's 20. That won't work with this, and it also applies to you. Dodge, spell dodge, I don't know. Perfect Form's always good. I'll have to think about that. I may as well just craft one with strength, honestly. The only other unique I think is worth it is Death's Oath. Death's Oath is pretty good. Let's see what we got here for strength. Joffrey's is going on the other guy. Yeah, we're gonna use Joffrey's on the Guardian. Yeah, Ironheart. Pass. So Ice Tomb. Yeah, Ice Tomb's not that good. So we're probably gonna end up crafting one for this guy, which is fine. Let's take a look at the skill tree. So in this skill tree, this was a tough one to theory out. I tried initially to come out here and use inertia. And I was like, maybe I'll come down here and put inertia in here as well and do something with crit because hits can't be evaded, and I'll pick up dodge. And then I didn't have that much strength or life. I had to convert so much. Coming up here, I just bite the bullet. I just eat these int nodes because I actually need int for enfeeble. And I get a jewel anyways. And I get 1 strength, 1 dex. So that the beginning it's a little rough. You get 20 strength here and that's about it. And another 10 here. Everything else you're like, okay, I'll need this for enfeeble. Another 20 int here. And then you get area of effect, which is nice because the skill tree still gives us area of effect. We're going to have to figure out what skill to use with this. Okay, so we come over here. Now we do convert this. This is efficient training per usual. This is 20 strength, strength, strength. This is strength. This becomes pure talent with elemental damage and mana. And then these two are strength. So everything down here is business as usual. More fire pen. Enemies can't leech from you. So good this league against some of these rares. I do need to get this if I'm running pure talent. So I get leech. And then over here is business as usual. So there is some interesting things I can consider. If I could figure out how to pick this up, I don't have to deal damage. I can go 3 totems because I don't need Lycosidae. There is a +1 totem shield that's actually not half bad. Let's take a look at it. It's right here. Tukahama's Fortress. It's expensive, but it's got 130 life, totem damage, and I can place 1 additional totem. But it gives me blood magic. So we'd have to do something with Essence Worm or something. I don't know. I thought about maybe using this guy with this and then running like War Chief and then just spamming smoke mines while they do their job. Or I could do an actual ability myself. If you guys want to see me pull that off as Saboteur, we can go melee. In which I'll probably end up going Cyclone. So if I go Cyclone with this build, I get a lot of passive AoE from Saboteur right here, right? And I get movement speed right here and here. And then I get 60% increased movement speed if we get the damn Helm enchant on Smoke Mine. Like, what is that crap? So it's pretty good for Cyclone. So I could do that. And I want to run back Cyclone anyways. You know, just drop a couple smoke mines and just whirl through everything. And naturally, I get blind on hit, which doesn't matter. They're already around me. But if you're applying blind and you leave the radius and then come back into it, it's nice to have range mobs blinded when you leave. Bosses. You won't always be nearby. So that's what I'm considering I could also do. So we don't have to do things like this, and then I could wear just a super high strength shield and go to town on things. So that's what we got on the horizons there. Let's see what else we got. Should I go armor? I don't know what to consider. Lion Eyes is always an amazing shield for early on. I wish there was more strength. Let's see what we have here for strength on shields. Nothing. Literally nothing. So you have to craft it yourself. Which means I'll probably craft like a shaped...
A pragmatic is a person with a foot in the light and a foot in the dark. But what if it's a paw?
What if it is a paw, man?
Huh.
I'm planning to do an RF Saboteur GC Mines full fire conversion. For the memes.
For the memes even. Well, this one isn't even going to be a meme. At first it was going to be a meme. It's just... I don't think the Path of Exile community is ready for Saboteur, man. Sabooti. You call it the Sabooti. Thank you very much, Vosh, for subbing for 2 years now. Hope you like your new 2-year emote. If you guys don't know, I'm streaming this on Twitch, so I have these little sub notifications, and he just unlocked his 2-year one. So yay! They're all little Oscar pictures. Actually, I think that picture right there is my YouTube picture. So cheers, Vosh. So we could craft a shield with strength. Whoops, wrong website. I'm glad I'm assimilated here though. Alright, so shield, evasion, and then shields, PoE. The base is Crusader Buckler because 9% increased movement speed and plus it. Let's see, so you want life. So you want it shaped Crusader. You get up to 5% of your life back when you block. A prefix could be max all res, like what? Imagine getting that. So item level 85 shaped Crusader Buckler if you're rich. Otherwise 75 will suffice. Or you can get even higher than that, 80. That's for the big boys out there. But this is item level 68. You can start crafting on that. Ooh, excuse me. This is maximum life when you block. So you gain 5% of your max life when you block. If you're block capped or you get 50% block, that's a lot of life back returned to you. You don't even realize how huge this is until you start using it. So that's what I would go for. Craft one of these with an essence, so you would have to slam it with rage essences, or just craft it and then use Haku to get 30 strength. Yeah, min-max is up to you. So let's see, 9% movement speed plus 8% movement speed. We have Cyclone. We get movement speed from, I suppose we could use Phase Run, or that's just overkill. Oh yeah, I'm using Charge Dash with this much movement speed. You kidding me? You kidding me right now? Oh yeah, all the builds I play are memes. This is how I roll. I think this one's going to work out just fine. The Effigon's the real reason why it's going to work out fine. In my build tree, I have planned 419 strength and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of this int. So 80 of this int chops off when we add it here. So nearly 500 strength, 499. So 500 strength is good to go on a tree. And then keep in mind all the jewels, what we're going to throw in there. Chest piece. I could always use Shroud for the more pen, but I'll be over pen cap at that point. I get so much pen already as this class. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this guy. I'll go Cyclone. I think Cyclone's better than War Chief for this. All the movement speed, all the blind, wherever you move, the things around you will be blinded. I've heard it's like pretty wide too. Heard it's like a very noticeable distance. It's kind of like the Occultist aura or the Inquisitor aura. That nearby is pretty hefty. So I'm curious to see how it works out. Anyways, if you guys have any questions on how this build's going to work, you can always ask me in the comment below. This is just a theory craft session. I'll also list the uniques in the description down below and in my profiles down there. So when I actually get around to playing this, you'll have to see my live stream. I like to take time off of my live stream from playing my characters. In fact, I'm about to hit 92 on the true avatar fire, my Ascendant. She's got 1800 strength. We're rocking hard with the BLS. I need to replace my gloves, and oh yeah, I'm saving up for two socket Tombfist on her right now, and then Lyco. So that's where I'm at. I have a Lyco today on another character, but I'm trying not to strip down my other characters. I'm trying to build up all 19 Ascendancies slowly over time. Anyways, with that said, thanks for tuning in, everybody on YouTube, and yeah, come check out my live stream. I'll answer all your questions there too. All right, I'm out. Bye.